What's up, YouTube? I was scrolling through my channel list of videos, and to be honest, I have forgotten what video in which I talked about this. I mean, I remember talking about this in a really old video at some point. But basically just the topic of, for religious texts, particularly the Bible, um, is it edited, and to what degree is it edited? I mean, I've talked about how I think that it is edited, like any document has been edited, like to the point where you've taken things from one section and extracted it and replaced it with another. Word editing, different different definitions, etc. And the reason why this is brought up, of course, as a criticism. This is brought up as a criticism to my arguments. This has always been the main criticism neurotypicals have used against my videos and theories. They've said that, and I brought this up in this video, this old video I just mentioned about it when I first talked about it. It is something that I think I talked about probably I talked about it in the first video, of course, but in the first videos I talked about if is it true that the Bible is edited, and again, I gave evidence that it is and to what degree it is, but I will say this, the format in which I put the evidence of that, the formatting of those videos in regards to if the Bible is edited is poor formatting. Reason being, neurotypicals, if they watch the videos that have those theories in those particular formats, they experience what is called information overload. And yeah, it's pretty much because of that. There is pretty much no way to help them understand the theories without some sort of real form of what do you call it, proper formatting. So this video that you're listening to, is the whole point is to just put the argument and evidence in a format that doesn't put so many different topics in the same video that it's information overload for a neurotypical. And if this is really true, then obviously this video will be one of the best videos on my channel. Or if this is a success, which it would be, following this logic, it's going to be the best video on my channel yet, because it's going to help neurotypicals actually understand why all my arguments are valid. Because my criticisms, against the Bible, when I pointed out the evidence that the Bible is not as edited as neurotypicals say, if they can understand that evidence in this video, because I put it in the format in this video where they can understand it, then they're going to understand how all my arguments are true. So then all neurotypicals will believe I've been right about everything for all these years. So I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to present the evidence, and I'm going to end the video so that it's in the simplest format possible for neurotypicals understanding. Because, yeah, so basically the evidence is just the fact that, well, no matter how much the Bible has been edited, and it has been edited, of course, because there's different denominations, it could not possibly be that it wasn't a really bad book when it first started out. If it's ever been edited, it has been to make it come off as less sadistic, cruel, violent, psychopathic, narcissistic, and evil. For reasons that are external to what the Bible says. We as humans intuitively understand what those things are, that those are negative things. We don't need the Bible to understand that they are those things. And so, humans throughout history will edit the Bible already knowing what these things are. They'll edit these things out of the Bible throughout history, which is what they did to a certain extent. To try to come off as more genuine, as if they understood all along what they were doing. So this just tells us that, of course, the Bible has been edited by the different denominations for the sake of trying to come off as more rational or moral in regards to their perception of these things without having to use what any document says directly. Well, using some sort of documents directly, of course, but not the Bible in particular. Christians want to say that they understand all these things without the Bible. They understand morals and stuff without the Bible. There is some intuitive sense of what's moral without the Bible, according to Christians, but neurotypicals have always agreed, and I've talked about this for years, that Christians have long since said that the Bible is something that it says, there's verses that say humans cannot understand the fullness of morality without tapping into reading the Bible, and that humans do not have the capacity with how they exist to tap into fully understanding morality without some sort of written, simplified, formatted documentation of how the laws of logic work in relation to morality. So, it has to be written down in simpleton, dumbed down terms, according to humans. And according to the Bible, that's what it says. Humans, neurotypicals, just happen to believe the Bible when it says that that's the case. And, I don't agree. I've given reasons why and given evidence why that's not really true. But I will say that I've given plenty of evidence over the years and crammed it into long videos. But at the end of the day, it's not really going to change the fact that that's all there is to say in this video. So has the Bible been edited? Yes, and that's the extent to which it's been edited. Just for the sole sake of taking out certain things that make it seem immoral. The only other thing I'll add is, of course, that, at the same time, the Bible is a book that wants to insist on certain forms of aggression and violence. So, a lot of elements of the Bible have not been taken out that are big on aggression, violence, and what, many have criticized to be narcissistic, psychopathic forms of abuse to everything that exists. So, realistically speaking, the Bible, when it's been edited, has been, taking a few things that have been somehow criticized by neurotypicals to be quote-unquote overboard in terms of ruthlessness, aggression, violence, and general psychopathy. So, there's not many things like that, because by the standards of living that neurotypicals have always accepted for as long as they've existed, and just humankind in general, their perception of this would be that only a very small set of things should be removed from the original documents, if anything ever has been. So again, if the Bible even has been edited heavily, it's only been to take a few things out that were, like I said, according to humans, quote unquote overboard, which in realistic terms is pretty much things that are just a little bit more violent or aggressive than what is in most Bibles today anyway, and has been in for the past few centuries anyway. So, I don't think it's been edited very much. All this suggests that, again, it makes sense because we all know that the only reason books are edited is either to make them worse, to make them sound worse, or make them sound better. And again, the whole intention of people is to gain their trust by sounding like they are more protective of others, more moral, more less violent or psychopathic. All these things being what people say are what happens through, all the things that people do that cause that behavior. So, to gain trust of people, humans will have edited anything quote-unquote overboard. So my arguments, do they hold up against this? Yeah, they hold up, because it means that my arguments are just perfectly, based on reality in terms of that. So they're just addressing the fact that the only reason the Bible would have ever been edited is to make it sound less violent or aggressive. And even then, it wouldn't have been to make it sound very much less aggressive, because again, it's just not in the nature of the God of the Bible. It's not in the nature of the people who support the Bible to say that there should be a huge reduction in aggression taught or believed. So it has to be consistent with what's said. So yeah, there is mathematically no way that the Bible has been edited very much. And so, for all the videos I talked of or made and gave evidence of modern Bible, well, then a lot of the stuff that I showed on the phone screen that were on websites, and were on reputable Christian websites, would be, real cited sources that have what the verses really say. It's just really more of a cop-out excuse that people use when they try to say that, oh, well, this was edited, this isn't what it said. Well, that sounds more like a cop-out excuse for bad behavior, because it's pretty much all contingent upon the things I said. So, it's very likely that the Bible, 100% true, the Bible has been edited, but people would never want to edit it that much, because they would never want to have there be that much of a reduction in aggressive forms of behavior. But that's the only thing to reduce if you're editing the Bible, for the sake of making it sound less aggressive. So, at the end of the day, it's just from basic observation of what people desire based on what they've done throughout history, tells you that's what they would have done with the Bible. And that's the extent to which they would have voted politicians or rulers to make this sort of thing happen. Strength in numbers, as I always say. So it wouldn't be hard for them to make this happen. So at the end of the day, that's all there is to say about it. This is a better format for describing that this is the barrier to the understanding of my theories or neurotypicals. That's all for this video. Bye.